Hey, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Appreciate you guys coming back for another Foundry Basics tutorial video here. A little bit of some 5e and on the 5.5 beta. It's a lot of 5 alliteration. Again, listen to my other videos. I hem and haw a lot, so I apologize for that as I'm trying to figure out I am definitely not a pro podcaster, vlogger, video recorder, whatever, but I do enjoy this, talking about something that is fun, and Foundry is one of that. Tonight we're going to jump into modules and kind of go a little bit of, I've hinted at it a number of times in the game and everything, and I'm recording this the same night I recorded the other video, but so there's still some issues. In fact, I was just checking the Discord. Some of the module authors are still updating their modules so that they're 5.5 compatible. So I'll do a follow-up maybe in my next one and next day or two once some of these are followed up. But modules are, when you first play a game, you know, a vanilla game's not going to have any modules, just whatever the core system is. And you can probably run a game and it'll work great and no issues at all. But you'll soon find out that modules, which are all, most of them, I believe, or all of them, are written by the community. And there are some really amazing tools out there and modules, excuse me, that you can use and leverage that are just epic. And so we're going to dig into some of those. Previously, the other versions of Foundry, to add a module, you go to the module screen, you would click install, paste the manifest JSON file. Now, with the 5.5 release, we have a nice, super great ability to filter and search what modules are out there that you can use for your system. Now, from looking at it, you know, it looks like it's alphabetical. And it's not specific to like 5e and whatever else, so it's pretty much all the modules. And because Foundry itself is not an open source project, but all these modules are, that I have found, the authors are very good at having them out there, so anybody can do a pull request, can clone it, can look at the source code, which is really, really neat. Especially if you're a tech nerd like me, I kind of enjoy that. Just kind of figure out, oh, how does he make this? If you don't have 5.5, you're running 5.3 or 5.4 or an older version or whatever, you can go to the Foundry website, which is, we'll switch there. There you go. And you'll see here at the top, systems and modules. And this is where all this data is pulling through. If you notice, it looks pretty much the same as this one here. You know, probably the same alphabetical. So this is the data he's pulling from. Tells you who the author is. Atropos is actually the author of Foundry, so he's the one maintaining the 5th edition module. There is another way to get some other modules, is here in the community wiki. So the community wiki is, again, an open source. Anybody can contribute to it. It is a work in progress, I'll tell you that right now. But it's got some really valuable information. And previously, this is where I was going to get all of my module information, and where I would find it, where I would look it up. And this one actually has it kind of broken down by game system. So we have core modules, which are universal, I guess you can say. I say core modules, but universal. They'll work with anything. So if you're a Dungeon Draft user, you can use the Dungeon Draft import module. Let's see what else here. Pings, which I use. It's a pretty nice one. Bunch of other ones here. A couple others I have used. Deselection is a great one. Combat Utility Belt, which is super awesome. So we'll go in some of my favorite modules. In fact, I put a post up on Reddit, and I'll put the link in the show notes here of a post of some of the modules that I was using a week or so ago or 2 weeks ago, and I've already added probably 4 or 5 to them. But if you're looking for specific modules just for a certain game system, so in my instance, I'm running 5e. So there's the group of 5e ones here. Dark mode, dynamic effects. This is the one that I played on the other video that shows the bats and things along that line, which is pretty awesome. And let me see what else is here. I've used a number of these, some of these, and you don't know what they are actually, to be honest, until you click it. So if you click it, it'll drop you down here. It'll explain a little bit. Again, if you're in the game itself, the VTT, it shows you a little bit of what that is. So let's say, for instance, let's go back to the D&D 5e. Oh no, dynamic effects. Okay, so we're going to go back to dynamic effects and we'll search for it in here. And it kind of tells you a little bit of what it does. So again, if you want to go out there and see what it looks, you just click the link. It'll probably open up in a browser. In fact, right here, here we go. And it takes you right. Oh, probably helps to switch my source there. There you go. So you can kind of see. Here's the author. In fact, there was an update 40 minutes ago. So this package module was just updated for 5.5. So you can kind of see a little bit more information about it, how it all goes. Again, some of this might be way technical for non-super techie folks, but for coders, people like me and others that live in this world, it's kind of fun to kind of geek out a little bit on it. But we'll go back to the top of the module screen, and I'll show you some of the ones that I'm using in the game and just kind of highlight some of the value. I've updated some. It shows here updated, but still shows a compatibility risk and things like that because they may or may not be fully baked in. I'll probably give another 24 hours. So let's go back into my module that I'm working on, the Delineantum. In fact, I think you probably already seen some of the modules that I'm working on, like the bats. I still have that running. So let's go turn the dynamic weather effects off. And I apologize, I just realized that oh, that's actually in the scenes. I take that back. I notice previewing the videos here that the software that I'm using to record this, when I click a drop down, it does not record the drop down. So you guys see like, hey, click this drop down, and then nothing happens. But trust me, when I say there's a drop down, it pops up. I'm using Logitech Capture, and it's not really fully recording everything as it should. Don't know if that's an issue with it or whatever. So once you have a module installed, doesn't mean it's automatically being used within the game. Okay, so you need to kind of go into your manage modules system here, and from here you can turn them off and on. Better NPC sheet or better roles, like bubble roles. I have it. It puts actor roles on above a chat bubble. A couple ones here, and every person, you just gotta have to figure out what you want and what you use. Some basic ones, which would be really good if they bake it into the core system, like deselection, because right now selecting a token can be, I think previously, can be a little bit of a pain. Like here it is, I select the token. Let's zoom in. I'll show you kind of when we select a token, right? If I'm clicking anywhere, it deselects it. So let's go here and manage modules. Let's turn off deselection. And when you save a module, the game has to reload. So if you're playing live with a group, it will reload and refresh the game. So now I've got the deselection module turned off. So I select it, but now look, when I click out of it, it does not deselect it. Now if I select another actor, it will deselect it. So when in the default core, if you have something selected, to deselect you have to right click. Actually, you don't right click, you just have to pick another token. So it can be a little bit of a pain. So it's actually a really simple module. I'm going to save it. We'll reload. And now, oops, I click to deselect. I just click anywhere. So you can see right off the top, just a small minor quality of life module. Makes it really nice to use. And a couple others I use, Combat Utility Belt, which is pretty good. The Furnace, which is a really good module. I could see some of these being built into the game core down the road, but I think this is deselection, the Furnace. I think some of these are essential. The effects master is the one that shows all the weather effects, and that's a fun one. Not necessarily not required. Another one is really cool, image previewer. So recommend that, because as you look on tokens and you're trying to modify and change the image for that one, if you didn't have the image previewer, you see here on the right hand side, I've got the images. You're like, what is the name of that? Especially if you go in and you've got, let's say, a ton of them, right? I'm like, or your naming scheme's not the best, or you have 5 versions of a octopus. You can kind of see the image preview of it to see what that module looks like. So that's how you add modules. One more quickly is, once you have a module in the game, a couple of them require some additional tweaking, and you can either find that sometimes here in the left, like the weather effects actually has information here in the left hand side, but some are under the configure settings, under module settings, and it's all broken down on one really long scroll screen that's broken apart with not as good HTML as I would like. I would wish this would be improved a little bit more. Maybe that's a module to improve the look of this, who knows. But from here you can turn things on and off and tweak certain modules and certain aspects to your liking. Again, that's some of the power of Foundry, is the ability to have some really cool tweaks, customization. Because I'm playing 5e, I'm heavily using 5e related modules and things along that line. But anyways, that's it for this this video, just kind of highlighting a little bit on modules. If you have any questions, find me on the Discord, shoot me a comment, and love to help answer any questions on that. If something didn't sound clear, again, appreciate it, and have some fun gaming. We'll talk to you later.